Yes. So, Event Zero. As far as I can tell, it's a walking simulator based on a space ship or a space station. We interact with the ship AI through typing on the keyboard, and as far as I can tell, it's a walking simulator similar to Firewatch, some sort of mystery going on. Didn't really look at the story as of yet and wanted to go into this blind, so without further ado, let's fire up a fresh game. Obsessed by being, someone, something, somewhere. Being in a particular state of consciousness, health, mind. Being for and from. Being with and being without. You are not an exception. For as long as you can remember, the pronoun that described you best has been he. I was very particular about it. Like everybody else, you called planet Earth your home. But you weren't like most of your peers. You spent your childhood, I'll say a slum. Your parents died when you were little. Pretty typical for the cicada eaters. You made it your life's goal to leave Rio. Somehow, you wound up in California. Those childhood memories, however painful, gave you some solace. They meant you were someone, and you intended to keep it that way. Fair enough.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Armstrong made a step on the moon, and suddenly everyone wanted to be a part of something. You witnessed nation-states pop up out of existence. Selenites became the privileged class of citizens. They were the minority who had travelled to space. It was hard to reconcile with the modern world your early days in Rio. The United Earth government paid for your college. You wanted to see what the universe looked like. Soon you joined International Transport Space Lines as a flight engineer assistant. You spent years in training before finally getting your shot. An old man wearing a blue flight jacket approached you after one of your mock launch exercises. He presented himself as Kurt Taylor, president of the ITS. I should know this, but I don't know who he is. Hello, sir. I don't bite, he said, grinning. Kurt invited you to his office and closed the door behind you. He didn't ask you to sit. Keep standing. He frowned and pointed the chair forcefully. I asked you here because I wanted something with your background to be part of our next mission. You did. Heard you grew up in Rio, and look at you now. You know what Nietzsche said? He who has a why can bear almost any how. He grinned, clearly satisfied with himself, and asked you to be part of a mission to Europa. Naturally, you said yes. There had already been 10 Europa missions. The new one was to be called Europa 11 because I was totally creative. This time, they wanted to send a manned lander down to the surface. You just wanted to be part of the Selenites, or be a part of something. Let's go something. The act of being in itself is not the problem. It's just that there are some ways of being incompatible with others. We get obsessed by them and miss out on everything else. Came a long way from wherever the heck that is.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have it. All systems go.
Hearing the launch countdown made you feel anxious. It wasn't the fear of going to space. You'd been looking forward to that. It was something else. A thought kept bugging you. It was September 6, 2012, and humankind had never been more united. You, on the other hand, were utterly alone. As for building relationships 390 miles away from Earth, well, let's just say that wasn't going to be straightforward. You were on your way to the system bay when the ship first entered Europa orbit. The central alarm went off, red lights blinded you. The AI of Europa 11 had invoked Code Red security protocol. All personnel had to go to the bridge. This meant you as well. By personnel, you reached the end of the hallway. The door was closed right in front of you. You asked the AI to let you go to the bridge. The AI of the ship told you that the path to the bridge wasn't safe and you had to evacuate immediately. What's going on? A synthetic voice said it was trying to get the bridge a bit too risky. It wanted you to evacuate. Ran for the escape pod bay. Everybody else turned out to be faster than you. Only one capsule remained docked. Sealed and attached as soon as you got in. You could see the other escape capsules getting away from Europa 11. You tried to hail them. But no one answered. The other capsules drifted idly, uncontrolled. They were all empty. I attempted communication with Europa 11. Europa 11 was steering your capsule, but you could not get the AI to answer your hail. Something was jamming the signal. Your pod was leaving the orbit. In a Code Red scenario, the AI of Europa 11 was at the wheel of all escape pods. This is supposed to give the crew enough time to get in their EVA suits. The screen turned blue, which meant the AI had let go. You felt a shock. The debris was hitting your capsule. The Europa 11 mission was over. The big dot on the radar had split into hundreds of smaller dots before disappearing for good. You needed a moment to process that. Not knowing what to do next. Cycles went by. You tried to establish communication with someone, whistling your favourite Brazilian songs into the microphone. One day, you heard back. There was music coming out of the speakers. A sad female's voice sang about the end of the world.
Was a hard trip. You didn't choose the easy way. It's the end of the world.
As we know it, there it was, a spaceship. One of those experimental tourist monstrosities from the 80s. What was it doing here? And what was all that singing about? And most importantly, was docking with it a good idea? You figured you didn't have much of a choice. Although, it says Nautilus, it looks a bit like a axiom from Wall-E.
Hey, Judy, hey, all the stars who kept you. Hey, Judy, hey, you already somewhere. Hey, Judy, hey, all the stars who look at you. Hey, Judy, hey, you already someone new.
I thought if it was the first event, wouldn't it be event 1? also apologise for the dodgy narration. My pronunciation is a little bit off. Engine purification on, we got 1 barometric. 3,000, yeah, that's too bad. I'll have a mechanical keyboard. Is it an IBM? I like the spring on the... Oh, actually, let's try a quick one. You play me a song.
My favorite Beatles West version Bolton Comet in 1970.
I am sure... Game, okay. Alright, let's proceed through the airlocks. Can we... That would be hilarious if I dial-up modem noises. And... success. Please turn on the lights. D3 lights. Turn on D3 lights.
This is impossible.
Okay. It's like a, I feel like I'm going to be eaten by a grue. So, there we go.
Do you dream of distant planets, stars, and galaxies?
Yes.
Do you crave real adventure?
No.
Are you ready for the most transformative experience of your life?
Maybe?
The ITS Corporation, leader in space transportation and hospitality sector, offers a unique opportunity to become a true pioneer in universe exploration. This fall, we're launching the Nautilus program, a new kind of space voyage aboard luxurious space yachts and cruisers. Touch the stars without having to sacrifice your comfort. No more compromise, only Nautilus. International Transport Space Lines. Comfort out of your comfort zone. To reserve your seat, visit the ITS Corporation headquarters in Palo Alto, California.
And I was going to ask, is there whiskey? Yes, yes there is. And apparently... Oh, it's actually these little poppers to... Climb Yes, types. A high-tech Roomba? Ah, it's asleep. KG back. Okay.
Lobby.
Lovely. Why is KG back sleeping?
Triple T black bundle.
Yes, I would. Please.
People curtain on the indefatigable.
Who is Kurt?
Nicely telling us about the engines to make this spaceship.
Ah. Who is Nandi?
Kurt deal is the village.
Tell me about Kurt.
Kurt is the formula security engine for the Nautilus program.
Lead security engineer. Okay.
As little as I can see about this.
Is your information being locked?
I'm thinking that are two different entities.
Now that's curious. What is your system status?
I am content to the one people's method. That which we talk about this later on not yet. Right.
Yeah, cousin? What do you mean Nandi was your friend and... If you're... Well, hang on. May I speak with Nandi?
Even the audio question.
There's something like me. Well, it was worth a shot. Ah. That is Corridor D3. Can you please open Corridor D3?
Try not to break anything out. There we go.
Hey. Ah.
This is all clean. Maybe it just being spraying on the
Yes.
You don't know it yet, but you should be worried about it as much as I am.
Here's the problem.
If you want to have a chance to get out of this planetary system, you know, please don't help me destroy my drive.
is the drive bad?
Some people want the drive to go into mass production. It is so dangerous that I am just cannot allow it. I must protect my own.
What can I do?
I can be described as incredible and dangerous. It's found made for fast space travel.
It's incredible and dangerous. I leave this room.
Remember, in the security, I must be able to give you back to it to the question to it. There is no way the Nautilus will bring you back to Earth.
Okay.
This is a Nautilus class spacecraft.
Now you're not paying attention to me.
And don't look sure.
Okay, so we have a bit of a debris situation going on.
Even if it makes you go to 11 points to my ship. Terrific.
Where is the bridge?
Or maybe the bridge is downstairs and the corridor.
Us.
You can't always get what you want, isn't it? Don't act like you don't understand.
Play nice, please.
I don't know things about the Nautilus.
Of course.
The corridor was never properly finished.
Okay. So why was it launched if it was never done? Bedroom. At this point I'll be cutting the video a bit short. We shall come back to next episode to work out the profiler SH problem and see me fail to use commands.